Hello again, my name is David Watts from Lenovo Press, and I have with me Ilya Krutov today.
Hi.
And we're going to be talking about the Lenovo ThinkServer RD450. This is a 2U, 2-socket server. Ilya, what's the target audience for this system?
Well, this is a mainstream dual-socket system, and it has lower cost compared to enterprise offerings, but at the same time it can be used for light databases, virtualization, cloud, email, collaboration applications. It's very versatile and flexible server that fits many customer needs.
And of course, this system, we've just brought out new models with the new Intel processor. That's the Intel Xeon processor E5 2600V4, right?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Well, let's talk about the processors in a second. How about we go through what's on the front?
Yes.
So tell us what we got.
Right. We have power button, ID button, system LEDs, 2 USB 2.0 ports, video port, and optional optical drive. And right here is the small tab that has ID information, asset ID for the system.
Yeah, the machine type, serial number,
Yep.
that sort of thing. Yeah. I would note too that new with the RD450 is VGA port. Older models of the RD450 had DisplayPort instead, so that's one of the changes. I'll show other changes as we go through as well. Yep. Optical drive.
Yes,
optional. Yep. Now this server, as you can see, has 8 3.5-inch drives. These are hot swap. The RD450 is actually quite versatile in its configuration choices. So as you can see, the server we have here has 8 3.5-inch hot swap drives. The RD450 is also available in a variety of other drive configurations, making it quite flexible. We also have 8 3.5-inch easy swap drive configuration, and we have support for 2.5-inch drives as well, starting from 8 2.5-inch drives, and we go all the way up to 24 2.5-inch drives. And in fact, if you have the 8 2.5-inch drive configuration, we also support an internal LTO6 tape drive. So quite versatile in the choices of drive connectivity.
Yes, and what's the maximum storage capacity?
So if you have 3.5-inch drives, then the maximum capacity is 64 terabytes, and that's using the new 8 terabyte drives that we've just announced. So pretty powerful systems in terms of storage, yes, and flexible too. So okay, so that's the front of the system. Let's spin it around and have a look at the back, shall we? Okay, so what we have on Ilya's side, we have all the slot configurations. The server supports up to 6 slots, 6 PCIe slots. If the system has only one CPU installed, then it can support 3 of them. So there's two slots here and a third one in the second riser if you have only one processor installed. But if you have 2 processors installed, then you have 2 here, 3 in this riser, and then a third one is a separate slot just there as well. These 2 over here are full height, half length, and these ones are low profile adapters. And this one, slot 6 is also a low profile adapter. The power supplies, 2 hot swap power supplies, variety of different capacities available. You can see here these are the 750 watt power supply options. The server also supports starting from the 450 watt and goes all the way up to the 1100 watt power supply. And there's platinum, 80 plus platinum support, and one of them is one of the 750s is a titanium level power supply. Ilya, what else we got over here?
Yeah, we also have 2 USB 3.0 ports, 2 gigabit Ethernet ports, serial port, Ethernet management port, and VGA port.
Yep. And those over on the far side, that's the ID light. So if you did press that ID button at the front, then that would light up. Yeah. All right. So that's the back of the system. So let's spin this around again and have a look inside, shall we? All right. Let me remove the air baffle to expose the processors. So tell us about the Intel processors in these systems, Ilya.
Yes. So this system supports new Intel Xeon processor E5 2600V4 product family, and this is a new processors. These are new processors, and they are built with 14 nanometer process technology, and because of that, this family allows for more cores, like up to 22, and high cache memory up to 55 megabytes. Also, it supports high memory speeds of 2400 megahertz. However, this particular system supports only up to E5 2660v4 processor.
So the mainstream SKUs
the mainstream
V4
SKUs,
processors.
yes, that's correct. Yes.
Yeah, not the high-end ones. Yep.
Each processor has 8 memory DIMMs for a total of 16 DIMMs per system. And so memory controller is integrated into the processor.
How much memory can this support?
Yeah, the system can support up to 1 terabyte of memory with 64 gigabyte LR DIMMs.
Yeah. So the server supports 8, 16, and 32 gig RDIMMs, and we also offer the 64 gig LRDIMM as well. It's up to 1 terabyte of memory. Great. Okay, so what other components? Let me remove the riser. This is one of the 2 riser cards. You can see here that this is the 2-slot portion of the server. The lower connector is not used, so this riser is identical to the other one. 3-slot arrangement. Connects into the riser connector on the system board. So let's see here. For these 2 connectors here, these are what are routed through to the backplane of this server. We've removed the cable just to show it a little bit easier. So this backplane for these 3.5-inch drives, the connector for the backplane is directly onto the system board. This server, because of flexibility, supports PCIe cards, onboard, or the AnyRAID card. So AnyRAID is a technology that Lenovo has for its ThinkServer line, and the AnyRAID card plugs directly into the backplane of the server. So we support AnyRAID cards on the 2.5-inch models, and those AnyRAID cards connect to these ports over here. So when you use AnyRAID, they connect onto these PCI connectors directly. AnyRAID is available in 6 gig and 12 gig for the high-end AnyRAID cards. If you're looking for a lower cost 12 gig solution, we do offer the newer 520 and 720i RAID cards. They go into slot 1 into the riser just here, and that will then route through to the backplane for the drives. So that's what those connectors are there. Also, we have, if I just spin it around a bit more, this is the TPM connector, Trusted Platform Module connector. Over here, this connector here, this is the TSM connector. This is the ThinkServer System Manager connector. It's an upgrade feature that enables remote management, remote keyboard, video, mouse, and remote media support of the onboard management function known as TSM, ThinkServer System Manager. So that's that upgrade connector there. Also over here is another connector for the onboard RAID functionality of the system. If you're not using a card or either AnyRAID or PCIe, the system does support RAID 0 and RAID 1. This connector here is an upgrade feature to also enable RAID 5. So entry-level RAID functionality, RAID 5 support just there.
It's for SATA drives only, right?
That's right, yes. Yeah, the onboard RAID is for SATA drives, where if you're looking for SAS support, then you use one of the card options. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this row of units here, Ilya, what are those?
Yeah, these are non-hot swap system fans that provide cooling, and basically this cooling is redundant, 10+1 redundant, but these are non-hot swap, so if you need to change it.
The blue indicates that it is a non-hot swap function. If it was a red or an orange, you would see that it would be hot swap. So to remove these, you unplug the connector first, and then you can remove the fan.
That's correct.
When the system is off.
Correct.
So this is the chassis intrusion switch. When the server lid is on the system, this switch is actually depressed. When you open the lid, that raises up and it logs an event into the system log, so you can see if the system's been opened without your knowledge. So useful feature there. That's an optional add-on during configuration. So there you have it. So this is the ThinkServer RD450, a 2U 2-socket server, now with the Intel Xeon E5 2600 V4 processors, right?
Right.
Yep. Hope you found the video useful. Thanks very much, Ilya,
Thank you.
and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.